this primetime address the president has suddenly scheduled alongside a visit to the border. Is that because, as we suspect, his arguments are frankly not working?
Yeah, look, I mean, this shutdown has entered its third week. There's no deal on the horizon. And as I stand here and talk to you, both sides aren't even scheduled to have additional meetings. So the president is shifting his focus away from lawmakers to the public. He's going to do what he thinks he does best. He's going to make this public sales pitch, making the case that, as he sees it, there's a national emergency, there's a humanitarian crisis on the border that is best solved by this concrete barrier that he wants to build. The question you could ask, though, is why now? Why not make this case 16, 17 days ago? The White House, Katie, I'm told, is trying to get ahead of what happens on Friday. Friday, January 11th, is the day that you have those 800,000 federal workers who've been affected by the shutdown. They won't get their paychecks. And as the shutdown extends, well, then you have low-income Americans who can't get access to food assistance. You have trash piling up at national parks. You have courts that will be closed. So there is this domino effect here. And that is why the White House, in the absence of any sort of real semblance of a deal, is now trying to take its case to the American public.
The White House and this administration seems willing to say absolutely anything in order to try and get the money for this wall, even if it's not grounded in reality. Most of it is not grounded in reality. Sarah Sanders this weekend talking about repeating this number that we've heard over and over again, these 4,000 terrorists that are being stopped at the border, most of them, a large number of them coming through the southern border. She was fact in real time by Chris Wallace, as we just showed. And now it's even more egregious. Julia Ainsley, our reporter, just got numbers from CBP that say that six suspected, not even suspected terrorists, 6 immigrants who match names on the terror watch list were stopped at the southern border. That is a far cry from suspected terrorists being stopped from coming in.
It is, and it's one of the reasons why congressional Democrats, it accounts for their lack of willingness to do a deal with this White House, in part because they say that the wall is bad policy, but also that it's not emblematic of American values. And then when you add to that the fact that the White House plays fast and loose with these facts, well, then it really poisons the well. And it's why you have so many congressional Democrats make the point that the president and the White House aren't willing to negotiate in good faith, Katie.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Beat the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.